generally human nature to overestimate risk and underestimate opportunity. And so I think entrepreneurs in general, would be well advised to try and bias against that piece of human nature. The risks are probably not as big as you perceive, and the opportunities may be bigger.
1997. Amazon had become a household name, dominating online book sales and slowly reshaping how the world shops.
Did you read the Times this morning, New York Times?
Yeah, I saw the Times this morning.
At one point on Friday, Amazon.com's total stock market value surged past $30 billion, making it worth more than a major industrial company like Texaco. That didn't blow your mind when you read it?
Well, I think if you're asking for sort of an emotional response, I think it's very humbling, and it creates a sense of responsibility.
According to my calculations, you yourself are worth somewhere in the vicinity of $9 or $10 billion today. I only say that because I've got a follow-up question.
Jeff Bezos was celebrated as one of the most visionary entrepreneurs of the decade, the face of a company that would change e-commerce forever. But behind that success was enormous risk. Just a few years earlier, he had invested his life savings, left a high-paying Wall Street job, and faced constant doubt from investors and friends who said online books could never work.
Here's the thing I don't understand. The company is worth billions.
Yes.
And every time I pick up the paper, each year it loses more money than it lost the year before. The company's never made a profit.
That's right.
Now, why? How does it? Why? How does that? Why?
Seems like a new math, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's to someone who doesn't know anything about this. It's amazing. You know, we lost $12 billion last year, and we're doing great.
Well, there are a whole series of Doonesbury cartoons about this. This is not a new phenomenon. We are a famously unprofitable company,
Right.
and we are investing in the future. It's not, which isn't unusual. Companies have done this before. What's a little surprising about Amazon.com is the scale to which we're doing it. We're doing it in a big way.
I see. So you just keep reinvesting.
We're reinvesting.
Now,
Tom Brokaw interviewed me one time about Amazon's losses, and he looked at me and he said, Mr. Bezos, can you even spell profit? And I said, yes, P-R-O-P-H-E-T.
Every decision carried the weight of potential failure, and one misstep could have erased everything. Maybe you've stared at a choice that terrifies you too. A business idea, a project, a move that could change your life. That fear? That's the signal you're on the edge of something big. The only way to find out is to step forward anyway. 2008, Elon Musk's world changed forever. Tesla launched its first all-electric roadster, and SpaceX became the first private company to send a spacecraft into orbit and return it safely.
Elon tends to burn people out a lot. Like there's lots of burnt out people in his wake. And when you go and talk to those people, what you hear is some people say, that was the best work experience ever, and I never want to work for him again. And other people said, that was the worst work experience ever, and I never want to work for him again. So they're all, I never want to work for him again. He basically looks at them as disposable parts and, go as hard as you can.
Musk was now known as a pioneer, someone redefining industries at a global scale.
Energy. What kind of throughput would you actually need? And you need 100 gigafactories.
So 100 of these.
100 of these, yes.
That would make the United States.
No, the whole world.
The whole world.
The whole world. All energy.
That's it?
Yeah.
That sounds.
It's manageable.
That sounds manageable.
Yeah.
But the risks he took were staggering. He had poured nearly all his fortune into Tesla and SpaceX, facing bankruptcy multiple times. Banks refused loans, investors walked away, and one failure could have ended both companies and his career.
2008 in particular was awful because we had the third launch failure in a row of our Falcon 1 vehicle with SpaceX. the Tesla financing round that we were raising fell apart because the economy was going into a tailspin. And it's pretty hard to raise money for a startup car company, late 2008 when GM and Chrysler are busy going bankrupt. That was tough. And then Solar City had to deal with Morgan Stanley, and Morgan Stanley had to renege on the deal because they themselves were running out of money. So it looked like all three companies were going to die. And I was also going through a divorce. So that was definitely a low point.
You're going through a divorce, which like some, to borrow your word, douchebag bloggers are writing about to make even worse.
Right. Yes, that's true. In addition to all that stuff happening, I was getting dumped on massively in the press.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe right now you're staring at a challenge that feels impossible. Maybe you're risking time, money, or reputation for something only you believe in. Musk's story proves that fear is the companion of any leap worth taking, and that stepping into it is what separates dreamers from world changers. By 2012, Sara Blakely had become the youngest self-made female billionaire, and Spanx was a global brand found in stores everywhere. Her innovative shapewear had transformed an industry and empowered millions of women worldwide.
The fourth habit of billionaires comes from none other than Sara Blakely. Sara Blakely is famous for founding Spanx. Spanx was the first shapewear brand that was comfortable. Now, Sara started Spanx with just $5,000 in savings. And her journey to becoming a self-made billionaire is absolutely jaw-dropping.
Hi, I'm Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx, and I set out to create the perfect pair of black pants. I'm looking for a woman who might be willing to be Spanxed. Hi, I'm Sara Blakely, the founder of Spanx. Hi, Sara. I'm Renee. Hi, Renee. Listen, Renee, if I told you there was the perfect pair of black pants in this little red box, would you be willing to try them? Pants in the box? Would you be willing to try them? Sure. That sounds wonderful. That sounds great. Would you like to try them on? I'd love to. Okay. I'll be more than happy to try them on. You will? Great. Thank you so much. Okay, Renee, you have them on. They feel terrific. What do you think? These feel so great. Can you guys catch her walking away? Let's go for it. Woo! You look great.
The risk she took was huge. She started Spanx with just $5,000 of her life savings, facing rejection after rejection from manufacturers and investors. People told her her idea wouldn't work, that she had no experience, that she was dreaming too big. Maybe you're at the beginning of your journey, feeling the sting of doubt, hearing the world tell you no. That's exactly where breakthroughs are born, in the uncomfortable, terrifying space where risk meets belief. Bezos, Musk, Blakely, different industries, different paths, same truth. Risk is unavoidable when you want to achieve something extraordinary. Fear and uncertainty are proof you're doing something meaningful. Your move is next. Take the leap and turn risk into your story of success.